If you're not using AI, I promise you, your virtual assistants are.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
Hey everybody, welcome to another minisode. Dustin Harris hanging out with you. Wanted to chat with you a little bit about VAs, some of the changes that have occurred in the last little bit. First, I want to remind you that we're sponsored by a great company called Synapse. Synapse is the ability for you to be able to save money and time. Who wouldn't want that, right? Go to spark4appraisers.com, again, spark4appraisers.com, and then click on the Synapse button. All right, folks, wanted to chat with you briefly. It's a mini-sode. We're not going to go into a lot of detail today about some of the changes that have occurred in the world of virtual assistants, VAs, sometimes we refer to them as. I recently did a what we call a monthly meeting with the coach. A monthly meeting with the coach is every single month I meet with my all-star team. And it is an interactive live meeting over Zoom where dozens of individuals, appraisers, forward-thinking appraisers show up and we talk about what is going on in the world of appraisal. And one of the things that we recently talked about in June, our June meeting, June 2023 meeting, was on the changes and updates in hiring and managing virtual assistants. I've been talking about VAs for many, many years. I've had VAs for, I think, over 10 years, definitely over 10 years. I have hired, sometimes fired, multiple VAs over the years. My focus has been the Philippines. That's one of the changes that have occurred. We talked a little bit about the fact that the Philippines is not the only place to find great VAs anymore. I still love the Philippines. That's still my focus. And that's where the majority of the individuals that I have worked with come from. But that's not the only focus, if you will. A couple other changes out there is the focus on VAs from their perspective. What I mean by that is the popularity, the desirability to be a virtual assistant has increased overseas, meaning the individuals that we hire have a stronger ability, a stronger desire to be a VA, and that has changed things a little bit on the hiring side, on the managing side, on the specialization side, and we went into details about that as well. I want to talk to you about a couple of other changes that we chatted about on my All-Star Team virtual meeting when we get back from this break. First, I want to pause and remind you that we are sponsored by a great program called Synapse. Synapse was developed by two of my friends, and these are smart people, appraisers, Brandon and Kyle Risch, and they have created an amazing program that I would say are created by appraisers for appraisers, right? And it solves this problem. The problem of, where did you get that adjustment? Where did that come from? What support do you have? What is your credible data that shows that $65 a square foot is the right adjustment for that particular property? I'm telling you, folks, this will change the way that you appraise in a good way. Check them out by going to spark4appraisers.com. It's a little bit confusing because the product is Synapse, but you go to spark4appraisers.com and click on the Synapse button. Again, spark4appraisers.com. Welcome back to the program, everybody. Dustin Harris hanging out. By the way, if you are on YouTube and this video is helpful to you, I know YouTubers always say this, but it's really important to the algorithm. It's really important to the way that YouTube works. It's really important to getting the word out to other appraisers. If you could just take a second and like this button, or like this video with that button, really helps. Subscribe to our channel. That way you don't ever miss an episode. It will come right to your email if you so choose to have the notifications that way. Or if you don't, If you're subscribed and you open up your YouTube, it'll show when new episodes are dropped. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. We're talking about some changes that have occurred in the virtual assistant world. Many changes have occurred over the last little bit. The latest update I did was in June 2023 with my All-Star team, and we talked about some specific things. So, for example, we went into specific tools that are now being used in the virtual assistant world. Some of them I've used for many years. Some of them are brand new. And some of them are really cool in the managing of their time and what they're actually doing. In other words, it used to be kind of loosey-goosey, and it was just kind of trust but verify in the past, where now there's very specific tools that will show the productivity of those that you hire. Some changes in security, some changes in the law. When I say security, I'm talking data security. Some changes in the law, especially if you're using appraisers from overseas on the other side of the pond, Europe. Big changes over there with regard to a law over there. And then we talked about the rise of artificial intelligence. And I know it's been a topic here we've frequently talked about, but we talked specifically about how that has affected virtual assistants overseas. And I will just say it this way, folks. If you're not using AI, I promise you your virtual assistants are, especially if they're in the customer service side of things. If you've got virtual assistants that are doing marketing, blogs, social media, that kind of thing, or customer service, I promise you they're using AI. You need to know about it. And we went into great detail about it, folks. I'm still a huge advocate of virtual assistants. I still have multiple virtual assistants that work for me, some on a regular basis that I'm paying full time, some part time, and some on one-off situations. And love every one of them. They're doing an awesome job. And I tell you, the principle is true. It's something that I've taught from the very beginning. It's the law of delegation, the ability to get those tasks off your shoulders so that you can focus on your highest and best use, which I promise is not what your virtual assistants can do for you. Thank you for joining me today, folks. Again, YouTube, check us out. Like, subscribe, really helps us out. Have a great day and go create some value.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.